Oh, hello everybody. I just thought I would come on and do a chit chat about the Virgo new moon and check in with you guys, see how your energies are doing. Howdy, Brandia. Long time no see. Where have you been? So, how have the energies been for you? Let me know if you can hear me all right. I've got these new headphone doodads on. See? They're supposed to work real well, so hiding out, yeah. Not surprising. Tis the season. So, we'll see if anyone else joins us tonight. I basically thought what I would do is just pull a reading and see what comes in. Aw, you're so sweet. Well, I don't know. I've not really gone anywhere. Well, I haven't been around, I guess. And things in my world are about to get even more hectic. Yeah, it looks like I'll be traveling on the 10th, so I'll be gone for almost a week. But all in the name of family and the love I have for them. All right. Oh, you know what? Back in the day when I first started tarot, I was really concerned about not getting it right. So I used to pull oracle cards and then pull messages around the oracle cards that came out. So I think I'm going to do a throwback 2 years ago, almost 3 now, and use oracle cards. I think that'd be a good idea, good way to start. Now, I just got to figure out which ones. All right, which ones shall I use? Which shall I do? Well, we're going to use these ones, the opening the heart chakra, and I think we'll use these ones I haven't used in a very long time. Starseed Oracle. All right, so let's get started with the new moon reading. I hope you're all excited about this new moon. I think it's hello Yoli, welcome. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Let's see what's up with the new moon coming in. It was around Wednesday. I got incredibly angry. I'm not exactly sure at this point what the anger was about per se, but, well, let me tell you, it was coming in loud and proud. There was not necessarily a reason for any anger or even frustration per se, but it was definitely prevalent. It's almost like a purging before the new moon happens. I don't know if any of you have had that experience. Lost Lands is one I called, or pulled forward. And it says, soul memories and gifts, you've done this before. So there's something here that we're redoing in this life. And if it seems familiar, that's why. It could be even something that you're starting to do now that you swore before that you wouldn't do because, well, for whatever reason. But now as the tides are turning in your life, there's this soul calling that the divine is in it. It's inexplicable and you can't ignore it. Let's read it. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timelines, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past. Others believe they exist today, in a different dimension. I believe the ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands, such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon, exists within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. So this is about Starseed Activation, this card. Wow, that's a big deal. That's like a soul calling that is just, man, inexplicable, as the word was, I believe. I'm going to pull some cards that I've not used before. I've never really resonated with them well, but I figure perhaps the best way to resonate with them is to use them. And this is the animal deck. It's called Animal Spirit deck. The cards look like this. I've had them for a long time. So I have the beaver and the raccoon. This is like chop wood, carry water scenario. That's the energy I get from looking at it. Ooh, we tilted. I moved a book and we tilted. Huh. So somebody very well could be coming into the energy of moving in one direction, and the wheel of fortune spins and puts you in the direction that you were supposed to be in. It's like not that you missed out on anything or you did anything wrong. Not at all. What I'm trying to explain is that it's like your soul needed to go on a pathway and through a certain journey before you could actually take this thing on that's coming for you. Okay. Let's read the raccoon, which would be that. Okay. I don't know exactly where they are in this book either, so I have to look. It's air, I think. See, I don't know it well, but I will share it with you guys for the first time. Wolf, deer, elk, lamb, snake, buffalo, raccoon. Here we go. Found it. So we have the raccoon. Talented, shadowy, in hiding. That reminds me of someone who just came to the room, said they were in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. That's beautiful. So there's something coming up within your soul that you've done before, and it's about coming forward with who you actually are. When in balance, you're a generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. So if the divine's stepping you into something new, that would be why. And it's something you've done before. It's something you'd be incredibly good at. Virgo energy is all about the taking care of and having compassion for others. I think there very well could be going on this balance within as to how do I have compassion for others, yet at the same time be compassionate to myself. Where does the self begin and the compassionate self end? Where does it all fit, and how do I find the balance within? Let's see what the beaver has to say, shall we? This is fire energy, the beaver is. So you could have, in part of what's going on with you right now, you could have fire sign energy around you, loud and proud. It's like humble, needing help, passionate, does not like asking for help, does not like the fact that they can't suffice on their own to a certain extent. And they're searching for something, and possibly within you and your energy, that they themselves have not managed to master. So there's some sort of energy about coming into being a mirror for yourself, or someone being a mirror for you, and vice versa. The beaver. The beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family, and express it by way of earth element, providing a home, financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they work steadily for weeks, months, and years to see it through. The beaver. Are you my beaver card? Are you? Just say hi to Freya, everybody. You should come in to say hello. Mommy's working. How dare I do such a thing? Okay, how about you come on down, sweet pea? Good girl. There we go. Where was I? The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, selfless service. So this is what I was talking about, somebody needing or feeling as though they need you, and it's service unto others. Perhaps there's been like 4 or 5 years where you've been on this journey of learning, and now it's like here in the 3D world, the divine is actually calling you to put it into practice in the 3D, as opposed to, say, like I am just talking about it here on the channel. So this new moon is really about a call to action of compassion, a call to action of selfless service. And it's almost as if in selfless service you fear that you will lose yourself, but in actuality you will find yourself through selfless service. I think there's a lot of Virgos anyway that I know would say, I'm tired of being selfless. I want to work for something that is for me. I want to heal some sort of thing or tie or something, or the energy blocks or the whatever that is for me, not out in the world for everybody else. But if you have been through a growing period in the last 5 years of real, really, real true growth and coming into a new way of being you, you cannot not use it. People will say a lot of times that empaths always find a narcissist, okay? They will say that narcissists always find the empath. It's like a energetic connect in this earth that they cannot get away from. But we cannot have an empath without a narcissist. Just as we cannot have a selfless, caring, giving person without a taking person to practice the selfless giving too. Everything has a yin and yang and a flow, a beautiful flow. And I think what's happening with this Virgo moon is it's like new moon. It's like the start of finding out how to really get in the flow of your life. I always talk to all the people I know and to you guys about walking in faith. And what exactly does walking in faith mean? Walking in faith, understanding that who sits across from you, whatever sits across from you is absolutely divinely sent. Therefore, to give it time, to give it credence, and don't dismiss it. Even if it's a past situation, a past person, or whichever, nothing needs to be dismissible. Maybe you might even feel that you're not ready for these things, and that if they come, then you will dismiss them. Thank you very much. But the divine here is asking you in selfless service to understand how they are using you. How is the divine using you? You're definitely holding back, feeling reserved, not exactly wanting to invest in anything for fear of loss, for fear of not having enough gain. holding back something you've been waiting for, something that you feel tied to, that you figured was, was part of your soul's path or your soul's life, and in turn it brought you great sadness. I wonder if the waiting is what brought you great sadness, because what you waited for never came. You have to understand that as you build a bridge in this life, and you move forward in this life, it's like this you can only build a bridge so far. Two energies have to come together, scientifically even, and meet in the middle. You can only build a bridge so far. You cannot build a bridge for everybody. You can't do it. You cannot build their side of the bridge. You cannot build their side of the dock. You cannot build it. You can build your dock on your side of the ocean, but you cannot build their dock. And if their dock has not been built for you or for the circumstance and the situation, then they will not come. All right, let's pull a couple more cards on the situation of lost lands. Just for those who are coming in now, let me just put up here. Lost lands was the card that we got, and it's about wrapping up a cycle and understanding that we are in a new cycle. The divine is taking you to the new, and it's painful. I'm gonna say it's painful because I have this energy. Look at this. Energy of not sure where to invest, or if you can even invest, not sure if your things that you want to put out will come back to you. You've had heartbreak. Your thoughts, the hope, the faith, the trust that you had in each circumstance and each situation turns around and stabs you in the soul. Hello, Vicky. It stabs you in the soul, which creates a raining on the inside. So we sit here and wait for the beauty to happen for us, waiting for it to come. We've made our choice. We're waiting for it to come. But the problem is that we're raining on the inside while waiting. So what does that tell in the law of attraction? What does that speak forward if you believe in law of attraction? In law of attraction, that speaks forward that I'm hurting. I don't know how to deal with this here, what this is right now, and my thoughts are stabbing my soul. In law of attraction, you're going to bring more things to you that stab your soul. So any relationship or job or whichever that you come across or comes across you in your life and towards you, understand where you were at emotionally, figuratively, and spiritually when that situation came along, and you will already intuitively see with your mind what your soul is trying to tell you about this lesson that's about to be learned. You might sit there and go, oh dang, that's not gonna be good. Oh man, because I manifested this person when I was not feeling happy. Oh my gosh, I was like sad, I was angry, I cried myself to sleep, whichever. So when you look back on circumstances and situations and realize what energy you were in when you manifested this, it tells you whether that person or situation or job comes to you for ever, a season, or what? For a soul lesson. It's all about a soul lesson, but there's more to it. So it's a way to look at things and actually gauge what's coming towards me. Some of you may very well sit there and say that my heart is closed. My heart is closed, Halo. Like, I don't know how to make my heart unclosed. I don't know what it is, but there comes along an energy or a circumstance through a person, job, or something that might just ignite a little spark in you that brings a soul remembering of a time that has been lost, like what we call, let's look at these swords tonight as time. That's interesting, right? Let's look at the swords tonight as time. Time lost. Hope is time lost. I feel like putting faith in things has lost me time. I feel like this other sword here has just lost me time. So if you feel a loss of time, not sure where I was going with that. something about the heart chakra opening and time. We all need time to get past the events and the circumstance in order for our hearts to step into a different energy. As we go through these things, and we might be raining on the inside, we might be sitting there manifesting, waiting for our ships to come in, and we wonder why the crap keeps coming our way. And it's probably because when you were in a certain energy, you manifested something by that energy, which a lot of times brings in a soul lesson or whichever. Now, I have the heart chakra activation card, evolution. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. This is exactly what I was talking about. Lessons on your path to love. So how do you know whether you're headed into a lesson instead of a, I don't know, what's instead of a lesson? A lesson sounds like, we will shape you and we will make you learn this lesson and we will this and we will that. What if we welcomed it as evolution instead of lesson? I get to evolve now. This is exciting because even though I manifested something when I wasn't in the greatest energy, something is coming along and it's going to evolve me. As you step up the ring and ladders, I see the 9 of Swords at night even, very possibly in your head. I'm going to read this card to you, evolution, because it has a much deeper meaning usually from the book. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. Life in the physical dimension is all about your soul's evolution, and you now understand that the quickest way to evolve is to utilize the energy of love in all you do. Every day you are presented with opportunities to project your loving energy, tempered with understanding. Acknowledge each day that allows you to become aware of the world around you, offering you the chance to expand spiritually. Look upon each experience and person as something unique to learn from, because that is what you signed up for. That's why you are here. You spiritually evolve when knowledge gained through application of lessons, literally, talking about this being able to see the way forward by the energy you were in when you manifested it, or before you manifested it. This is where the virtues of faith and hope are tested, and you embrace the conviction that everything works out for good. The power of love is the infinite truth. With this power, you are not influenced by judgment or bitterness. With it, all things are understood, accepted, and forgiven. When aligned with love, you are able to see the common threads running through everyone and everything. You become aware that all is a part of a greater whole. The mindfulness that truth is bigger than your ego, as well as gratitude for every experience you have, is an important aspect of your evolution. This is what I was talking about when I said that whoever sits across from you, whoever you come across in your day, is absolutely meant to be there by divine intervention. If we look at who we pass that says, oh, hi to you, who we pass that says, oh, hi to you, that was by divine intervention. Just that one simple thing. Who you come across on YouTube is absolutely by divine intervention as well. Let's pull some more tarot on this situationship. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. That obstacles are actually there for your evolution. Oh, that's beautiful. You see what I'm saying here? Look at that. A very passionate opportunity coming. It's like, thank you, Brandia. It's like hitting the like button. Oh, I like this. This is good. It's like awakening to what was in front of you all along, and it's given to you by the divine, not because it's a challenge to take you out of your norm and blah, blah, blah. It's actually given to you by the divine because it's what the divine knows you have got in you to give. And that is a huge compliment when someone comes to you, even who is ailing or is hurt emotionally or is upset. That is a huge compliment from the divine that they have brought that person to you. We really need to be in the awareness that who the divine brings to us is meant to be, and it is a compliment to us of what the divine feels you can handle, as I learned back in my church going days, that God will not bring you more than you can handle. I think some people have been sitting there waiting for this passionate offer for quite some time. It's like sitting on it going, well, if it's meant to be for me, it'll be for me, and I won't have to do anything for it. I might have to make decisions, I might have to this, but it'll all move forward without my own little, fingers in it, because the high priestess sits there in internal knowing that whatever's coming for her is absolutely sent from the divine. And that is incredible evolution for your soul, for your heart, for your life in every way. It's absolutely beautiful. The fact that these cards are coming out for the people in the room, this should simply tell you what you are ready for. What you are ready for. What the divine thinks of you when they bring challenges your way. If you are an empath and you feel like, I keep manifesting these stupid narcissists, did you ever stop to think, as an evolved empath, that you are called in to actually help the narcissist? In dealing with the narcissist, you find your own power, you see. It's a symbiotic relationship where one could not exist without the other, because it needs to have the energy of, how do they call that in... it has something to do with the God code in DNA. Structurally, one microorganism pulls another microorganism. That's what it is. It's magnetic coding for your DNA, okay? Each molecule, or I can't remember what it's called. Trioid, where are you? Each molecule that is at the end of a strand that has 2 points on it, is that point area is being activated, and it's like a magnet. It magnetizes the next rung, and it helps you to have a soul remembering. It helps you to have these lost lands feelings, so that when something comes your way, you will accept it. If I'm just getting excited. If you in certain circumstances feel like nothing's working for you, feeling like I can't step into the next halo, I don't even know what the next is per se, and you're feeling that way, I want you to sit there in hope, faith, and trust, and know that if you are feeling that way, just like a magnet, the rest of the answer is going to come. It's in your DNA coding, because how we feel is how we ask the questions. Like, I'm feeling this way. And then the question is, why am I feeling this way? Well, I know why I'm feeling that way, and I know who made me feel that way. But what happens in your DNA coding when you ask a question is that the divine shows up at the other strand of your DNA coding and locks it into place. This is when your soul evolves in evolution, moving forward and knowing that absolutely everything that comes your way is heaven sent, is divine driven. And even then, as you will start to sit there across from someone else and share your knowledge or your fun or whatever it is, your art, I don't care what it is you do, as you sit there and share with others what it is that you know or have learned, in some sort of way, you see the weight just fall off their shoulders, and you realize, oh my God, the divine just reached right through me, worked a work in them, and came right back. I'm telling you, those are the moments when all of my hairs on my body stand up. It's like this person sits here, the divine reaches straight through you and says, here, person on the other side of this person sitting here, here's a wand for you, here's an opportunity. That person might get up, walk away, and leave you sitting there with that opportunity. But who sits across from you is what the divine absolutely every single time tells you you're ready for. Never discount who sits across from you. And if it's an incredibly hurt person, angry person, frustrated person, all of these things, understand that you have been given, chosen even by the divine, to step into this situation and offer your knowledge. Offer your wisdom, because your wisdom and your knowledge is channeled. And as your wisdom and your knowledge is channeled, and you get better at the channeling and doing, opening your mind and your soul and your aura and your everything, the words, the energy, the flow, the everything, it just comes right through without absolutely any effort, without any effort at all. And all it has to do with is you opening your heart up and allowing the divine to live where your heart is. Nobody else but the divine. Your spirit guides, the angels, everybody around you, being a vessel to be used on this planet for the highest good of all. What does that tell you that the divine thinks of you? I'm telling you, y'all should go look in a mirror if you've been listening to me this time and burst into tears at the joy of what the divine thinks of you. I've told many people, come on now, God doesn't make junk. God does not make junk. It's what we choose to do with what God's given us that creates the junk. So how much junk do you want in your trunk? How much junk do you want in your trunk? Or do you want to let all the junk go and say, that's it. From this point forward, I'm going to have the perception that I am simply going to be used by the divine. And I will look at every opportunity and every circumstance and every situation as absolutely that gift to do so. It doesn't mean that you're going to fail. It doesn't mean that you're going to succeed. All it means is that the divine has chosen to use you, which is so powerful. And you should feel so incredibly proud of yourself for even understanding why the divine has brought this to you in the first place. All right, we have one more card. Halo gets a little preachy, my bad. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. I can't even make this shit up. Birth as a portal. You are a portal of energy the divine is going to reach through. They're going to share information through you, grab the other person, and they're going to pull it to you and go, okay, now here's something for you to learn. Are you going to accept the challenge? And that God does this through you. The divine does this through you. Source does this through you. The all that is all, whatever you want to call it. Spirit, angels, the divine, all of it does it through you. Can we have this energy for the same thing, what's going on in the planet right now? What's going on in our world? The things that government is putting forward, forcing people to do these things. Can we be this portal of energy for others and say, oh, come on now, God doesn't make junk. Yes, things are going on. Yes, situations are happening, but use your intuition and allow the divine to reach through you and hand someone this wand. The divine's calling a lot of you right now to stand up and be the oracle that somehow for so long you have known you are. And they're going to ask you to do it right here in the 3D, right in front of you, not across YouTube, not across anything else, but with your family, with friends, with someone who's suffering. It could be sitting down at a restaurant. Someone walks past you and says, oh, hey, you look familiar. You look familiar. Lost lands, remembering, soul remembering. Have you had someone have you looked at somebody and said, dang, that person looks so familiar. I know that person from somewhere. Have you ever had that happen? Soul remembering? Interesting, hey? All right. Let's read We the Hathors. If I can find my book. So, deep love, mother's milk, birth of a portal. Birth as a portal. This is amazing because as I'm saying all of this, I look down and then see that card. And it's like, I love it when readings happen like that. It all just comes together and you end up, it ends up tied up in all a pretty bow. That's what being this oracle and allowing the divine to reach through you and serve others is about. And it'll blow your mind every time. You never get used to it. You never get used to it. and who the divine brings to you in the process, it will blow your mind too. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother, and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and others too, to surrender to your sacred femininity, to create and surrender to your own creations, to hold and be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is watching over you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you are cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you could possibly ever imagine, and you have access to more love than your heart can bear. If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the overflowing love of the cosmic mother, flooding toward you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. Starseed Activation. Place the card of portal on your heart and whisper the following. I allow the deep love of the cosmic mother to wash over me. I'm loved, I'm held. Some of you are going to be asked to be the mom with certain people in circumstances, situations, when maybe it's a parent, you're being the mom to the parent, or it's a switch, your children are being the mom to you. It's kind of like this mother energy is coming through. And it's going to be a challenge for some because mother energy doesn't always come incredibly smoothly. A lot of times it comes with a swift boot. But this is talking about how you're held in the love of the divine. That's beautiful. Individuality. You leave your unique stamp of love on everything you do. That's worth remembering, and it's worth trusting. Worth trusting that if your heart's closed in a situation, it's for divine reason. Obstacles or rejection are God's protection, heading you in the direction you're supposed to be in, and being grateful for it. Gratitude. The heart of you fully appreciate the invaluable lessons that life lovingly presents to you. You fully appreciate the invaluable evolution of your soul that life lovingly presents to you in gratitude. Being grateful for that. Being grateful for knowing, and every step that you take, knowing and trusting that absolutely, without a doubt, you are guided in every single way. Every single way. Nothing, you have not lost anything. You are still whole. Yes, there may be pain. Yes, there may be hurt, but you are not a mere morsel of what you used to be. You are not. You are powerful. You are ignited. You are incredible. You are able to create that shift you need just by perception. You are able to do that with the guidance of the divine and being this energy here, the Ace of Wands, the channeler, the oracle, being called to be just that. Butterfly, rebirth. As I just pulled the rebirth card, I can't even with this. We are the Hathors, mother's milk, the birth as a portal. And I get this one. Butterflies, rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. It's not easy to love every part of your journey because that means you have to love every part of you. And as we sit there and try to love every part of us, sometimes that's a very tall order. But this is about rebirth and transformation in a way you never thought that you would have to do something. And in doing it, you are going to find you're coming back to you. You're coming home. The divine is bringing you home to yourself. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful energy. I'm going to pull some tarot on that. Tell me about this rebirth, please. You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. I can't even. The 10 of Cups. You are rebirthing into this energy, into the energy of the happiness with family. There's some sort of home or energy that you have with family, and it's been brought to you for you to absolutely embrace in this lifetime. It's not easy. Family's a challenge. I agree 100%, without a doubt. But I'm telling you, there's some sort of thing to you where you are coming home to your true self. There's no mistaking that on the rebirth butterfly card, I pulled the 10 of Cups. There's no mistaking it. All of you watch tarot. Come on now. All of you watch these things online, YouTube, all the time. If you see this, just even looking at it, what do you think? How does this make you feel just by looking at it? Hope, vision, imperativeness. It's time to rebirth yourself and the things that you dream of. What did you dream of when you were a little girl, little boy, little man? Your tree house, living in a tree? You know, I always thought it'd be great to live in a tree house. And if I had the opportunity to build a tree house to go live in, I just might do that. You see, rebirthing yourself, repurposing yourself. Exactly. Hope and happiness. But you see, in the first card here, we have the 3 swords. Our hope, our faith, and our trust, mental processes stabbing our soul, and we're raining on the inside. Not realizing that, in fact, God is actually calling us to sit with this energy of knowing, because God is going to reach through us and pass that baton to somebody else. In so doing, passes the baton to you. When I'm sitting here speaking, and I reach somebody that's on the other side of this camera, wherever you are in this whole world, wherever you are, when I reach somebody, I'm just sitting here as this energy. What comes through me, what is said, the energy that you feel, whether passionate, whichever, is all from the divine. I actually, in order to remember what I've done, have to go back and watch the video because I can't recall a lot of what's even said. But look at this card. Look at this card. Hope, absolutely. Rebirth, absolutely. Understanding now for the first time, maybe with a different intention, how to create it. How to create it. Not saying no to opportunities that are in front of you just because it looks like something else, or it looks like something else that I went through, so I'm not going to do that. This is about setting the intention, the seed, the growing, the birth, the rebirth of your life and your soul. It's in a beautiful, passionate way of understanding. Hello, Claire. So we have the 7 of Cups. And as I always say, the 7 of Cups, we look at all the fancy things, the opportunities in front of us, the things that we want to do. There's some sort of illusion around it. We're not sure what we want to do, which one we want to pick. The problem is the way to get to the 8 of Cups, my friends. How do we get to the 8 of Cups? By realizing what you bring to each situation. The 8th cup is already here. It's right here. And as you realize that you have that value, you are that Knight of Cups. You hold that cup in your hand and you head through life relentlessly every single day as you and as yourself, bringing that love that you are. Even if you are feeling in misery that day, you are still showing up to the table. You still wake up. I don't care if all it takes is all you can do is get up and look in the mirror and go back to bed. You faced your day. You faced your day. I'm just bringing this up because that used to be my life. I used to walk around with a walker. I used to be 335 pounds. It's all about what you bring to any situation. We will make a list of pros, we will make a list of cons. But the thing that we forget to do in that circumstance, I'm guilty of it too, is see how I, interjecting my energy, can change it all. How can the divine reach through me and bring these opportunities a new passionate awakening. See, this is incredibly powerful. I'm so glad I did this. I feel like I'm welling up with joy, and it's overflowing emotion. That's what this card is, absolutely overflowing emotion. I'm going to split the deck. See, good news here. Good news is coming for you. A spark of passion is being ignited. Whether it's to fight, whether it's to stand tall, whether it's to hug those who have been in the fight or the battle, whatever it is. This life that we face, the fact that you got out of bed, or even that you woke up today, says so much about you. I used to be in circumstance and situation in my life where getting up, going to the bathroom, and going back to bed was just the best I could do. It was the absolute best I could do. And now I look at my life, and never laying there in any part of that circumstance or situation would I have ever in a million years imagined this whole thing. This channel, me, the divine, God, source, spirit, the angels. Never in a million years would I have come up with this. Never. So never lose hope or faith about where the divine is taking you. I'm just splitting the deck here. Oh, look at that. The Queen of Cups. You see what I'm saying? The unconditional love that you have just for self. It's time to stop beating yourself up because I've not started that tarot channel yet. It's time to stop beating yourself up because you haven't balanced your emotions. It's time for you to stop beating yourself up over who's getting what and who's not. It's time to have love and have compassion for every single person, every single being, and most of all for yourself. Whatever that means to you. You see this beautiful ornate cup that she has in her hand, her own cup of love to give. She gives it unconditionally, which a lot of times leaves her in a whole bunch of emotion. Yeah, and alone, because this person that gives sometimes so much, no one understands. No one understands why she gives so much. It's like, I've tried to push this woman away or this man who's in this energy away. I've tried to do this. I've tried to get rid of it all. But here still stands this beautiful energy. This beautiful energy that divine source spirit brought here to be. Beautiful energy. To show the way. It's going to take great strength to be a way shower. I don't really call that a light worker. I don't really call it a love worker. Is it a way shower? Yeah. Why? Because you share the way you've done things and how you've grown. And as you do, you start to channel information more on top of already what you've done and grown. And it takes strength. It takes strength. Sometimes just to get out of bed in the morning, it takes strength. It's taming the inner beasts within yourself and remembering this is who you are. There's a song I was always talking about a while back by Bryan Adams, I want to say. It was from the Spirit movie, the soundtrack, Remember Who You Are. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. It starts solemn and down, and the horse is finally been caught and harangued in this train car headed off. And he all of a sudden, as he's sitting there, he sees other horses looking at him like, dude, you were the man. You were the bomb. What the hell happened? Where'd you go? Right? And he looks up at them like, what? He looks up at the other horses like, what? And all of a sudden he looks out the thing and he starts seeing spirit energy floating in the sky as stars, forming the horses of his family, remembering what he's built on. If you lose yourself, courage soon will follow. So be strong tonight and remember who you are. If you lose yourself, my friends, courage soon will follow. Be strong tonight and remember who you are. You have everything it takes. You have everything it takes. Logical, the strength, the emotion, the fortitude, and might I even say, you are the oracle. We all have the ability to be the oracle. We all are the oracle. We all are. I'm going to pull a postcard from Spirit next. Lose yourself, courage soon will follow, so be strong tonight. Remember who you are. Dearest you, the common saying, be in the world but not of it, and wear the world loosely, refers to the need to be engaged with life while not being attached to specific outcomes. Do not take this world too personally, for you are one of many co-creators here to play, and we have many ideas about how all of this should play out. Just know the outcomes don't matter as much as the presence you bring, the presence you bring to each situation. The presence you bring to each experience and how you let yourself flow through this life. There's a real freedom in knowing and accepting this. So will you wear the world loosely? Will you sit there and know that you're being used and wear other people's choices and even your own loosely? Or will you straitjacket yourself? It is your choice. Whatever happens, have the courage to keep trying, to live as you are meant to. And when it comes to manifesting, don't worry about the how or even the why. We have that covered. Everything is going to turn out exactly as it should. Spirit has a plan. Loving you always and forever. Thank you. Yeah. And is there any mistaking Miss Little Brandia who's been hiding? That you've come out of hiding just in time. Just in time. I'm going to read one more because I just love these. They just speak to my soul in every single way. Dearest wonderful you, to help you manifest a life for the highest good. Nope, you're not too late, MK. To help you manifest a life for the highest good, we invite you to examine your deepest desires. Imagine all of your desires, 7 of Cups. Imagine all of your desires like magic seed pods in a basket, glowing with infinite potential. Look closely at each one. Are you afraid that some may bring you too much attention and invite negative reactions from others? Is change too daunting? Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Let yourself be led forward and let the seeds of positive intention take to the wind. Your desires count and you are worthy of them. They are essential. Where am I? They are essential for co-creating your world. Did you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways you can't possibly know. I've had the desire since I was a child to be on stage, to speak, to play piano, to sing, all of these things I've done in my life. And here I sit speaking to you now, sharing with you now. Who can you be now? We know you and love you so deeply and are so happy to support you. You guys are so cared for. You never walk alone. Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer was a man, an amazing man, and my spiritual journey started with his knowledge. Back in 2016, in this way, my spiritual journey in this way, started with his knowledge. And he says one simple thing. If you just had any glimpse or had any understanding of who it was that walked beside you every single day, you would never, ever, ever doubt again. Ever. You would never doubt again. Never would you ever doubt how loved you are, how cared for you are, how handheld by spirit that you are. And even when you turn opportunities down, they just reach in and hug you and say it's okay. There is a never-ending opportunity for opportunities because they're always coming. They're always coming to you every single day, every single moment. And you don't even have to look for them when you get in this energy because you know that who sits across from you is exactly what you're ready for. And when someone grumpy and upset and sitting there talking about their divorce and their blah, blah, blah comes along, then you know you have some input that can change that person's life. Be honored by being chosen by the divine. Be honored. This honor is for everybody. Everybody is like this, but it takes an absolute shift in perception to see that you are being used and honored by the divine, not taken through beating lessons to beat your soul into submission and to learn all these things. Changing your perception and understanding that you are here to actually be that blessing to yourself and to others is what is going to change the trajectory of your life for the rest of your days. For the rest of your days. The rest of your days. I, like many of you, have been through inexplicable struggle. At times we could not have words to put to them as to the way they affected us. But if you can look at those experiences as the divine choosing you to put you into that shit show, to change the trajectory of every single person's life there, and for them to change the trajectory of your life, do you see the beauty in the making of that? The components that have to come together to create the hindsight for it all? Oh, I'm just saying. Walking in faith. There's just no other way to do this life. There's just no other way. Thank you, ditto, and ditto to you. There's just no other way to do this life. Wake up in the morning. Ask the universe to simply amaze you, and you will find out that you start walking through the day looking for things to be amazed by, whereas the other day you wouldn't have. 2 adults' kids have tried to die on me this year, and taking care of them wiped me out money-wise, but they are alive, and everything worked out perfectly so that I could help them. Thank heavens. You see how the divine used you, not the divine stuck you in that circumstance? Yes, we are all chosen children to be here, to create beauty in this world. We all come here. We are the cooperative components the divine puts in every little moment, in every situation. Absolutely used by the divine to come across someone's path. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the donations, everyone. Absolutely used by the divine. In every way, in every moment of your day. I was sitting at the dog park this morning, minding my own business. I like going for walks there because I love the energy. Animals, they just diffuse all the energy that's around there, and it's just so, Anyway, we're sitting on a bench, had my arms back like this, and just sitting there doing my own thing, and this little dog, and this man was there. This little dog came running up, jumped up on me, and climbed up on my face and was kissing me and loving me. And I was like, oh my God, he's adorable. He's like, I'm so sorry. I said, oh, please don't be sorry. That just brings me joy. That this little being, he goes, obviously he's still a pup. And I said, oh, thank God for the pups. Man, thank God for the pups. They have zero resistance to doing what it is that source calls them to do. I got beautifully kissed by the puppy dog. That wasn't even mine. It was so beautiful. And he was just a cute little handful of just awesome, awesome swicked. It was swicked, man. It was sweet and swicked all together. But like those moments that happen for you somebody could take that moment as, oh, get your dog off of me, blah, blah, blah. But when you change your perception in this way, even those moments happen for you, you see. They happen for you. When you feel like the tower's coming, or has come maybe over the last 10 years of your life has been a nonstop tower, and you feel that way, I want you to remember that please try and change your perception and understand that what is falling down and being torn down is being torn down for you, not against you. They're not taking from you. The divine is actually giving to you. In that card, it shows just an absolute astronomical moment of shock and awe and everything changing all at once. And we go through those periods in life, right? We all do. We go through those periods. But when we can have hindsight, that's the beautiful thing about the Fool and the Major Arcana journey in Tarot, is that you get to take that step forward. And as you take minute, even maybe, steps forward, you start to gain this beautiful perception on what's happened previously. It may take years. Some people may say, I will never understand it. But I bet you if you sit quiet with your soul in energy and remembering who you are, the lost you, that you've been through this energy before, and maybe that's why it's causing so much pain, is because you've been here before and your soul is actually remembering. You gain hindsight. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, and that's what I love about the Fool, because without taking that step forward, you can't have hindsight. So take the step forward, if nothing else, so that you can understand what just happened. Get some distance so you can actually see from a higher perspective. People can say, well, it's like peeling back the layers of the onion. Well, I'd like to say, how about we step out of the onion and look at the onion and go, well, I guess it's not about the layers of the onion anymore. Now is it? When you step back and realize it's not about peeling back the layers, it's just about being here and being who the divine brought you here to be, who you chose to come here to be, you can really step into your power. And it's a beautiful way of realizing that the work is in losing resistance to what's in front of you. And how do you lose resistance to what's in front of you? By understanding that it's absolutely brought here to you by the divine, not to destroy, but to build. We chose to be here in this moment and in this time. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the world, and I don't know if people are going to leave the room or whatever. It is what it is. I have my own views on everything that's going on right now. Here in Canada, we're facing more lockdowns, passports to get through even provinces, and pretty soon I feel there will be intercity passports, but I channeled that when all this first started happening. Anyway, so it's not about who's gotten the shot or who's not gotten the shot. To me, that's about being in the onion. If you step back from the onion, it's about being compassionate with people's right to choose. It's not about what you think about the circumstance. It's not about what they think about the circumstance. It's just about being compassionate, that we are human, and every human has the right to choose. They have the right to fight about it online if they want to. They have the right to go stand up and fight a battle with people of like mind. They have the right to sit back and to be the teachers and say, hey man, come on, what are you all doing? What are you doing? I'm going to sit here and say as a teacher, step out of the onion. Realize that there is nothing happening right now that the divine didn't know was going to happen. And if we use our human brains and our scared self to go ahead and reason it all, it's just going to put us in a place, in a box, in a place of fear. But we can't see what the divine is doing for us because we're in it. Once we gain some distance, my friends, we are going to start to have a different perception on what's going on and actually be able to see with some distance how it was best that it happened exactly as it did. This is not a first time. on this planet that this has happened. It's not the first time. It happened back when we had the Jews slaughtered, and well, many other people. It wasn't just Jewish people, but those who decided not to get a vaccine. We had it back when people had that skin disease back in Jesus' day. Can't remember what it's called all of a sudden. We had people fighting like this and stuff when there were smallpox vaccines that came out about not having the right to not put things in their body, just as much as someone has the right to choose to do whatever they want to do. Does the divine think one is better than the other? We can't sit here and say the divine thinks one is better than the other. Why is that? Because that person has the right to choose. Their soul has the right to choose how they move forward. That is removing yourself from the onion, being able to see it from a higher perspective. We all have come here to have free will. And if we all have free will, then we have a choice as to how we handle what's in front of us. Some are going to fight against, and some are going to back away. Some are going to be in the mix and create the, get in there like the electric mixer and go cray-cray on that shit to stir it up and to bring it up from the underbelly of things that people are afraid of. It's absolute Pluto and transformation. That's what Pluto does. It deals with things in the underbelly, gets it all exposed. That's why Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, which is the death card. Amen to that. We're already in our destiny. And that is what this new moon in Virgo is about. Starting to realize that divine destiny is at play, and how your heart and soul feels called to action in these circumstances and any other. Trust it. Trust it. Even if you are one of the people that are going to stand in line to get the shot. Trust that your soul is telling you to do that for a reason, because it's part of your journey here, and no one has a right to judge anybody on their journey here. There's much love here for you. The divine loves you. And losing resistance to all that we have created and all the divine has created brings us a huge amount of power, because then you can see things from outside of the onion. None of us know how all of this is going to play out, but when you're looking at it from a perspective that's outside the onion and you don't have to peel back the layers, that's the divine's job. That's when you come into true sovereignty and true sovereign power for yourself. Is when you step out of the way and let the divine do what the divine is gonna do. We all make our choices in the circumstance and situation. Everybody has the freedom to do so. I support you all. Whoever's got the shot, I support you 100%. Whoever is fighting not to have to, I support you 100%. Why? Because I support your soul's journey. And if you decide that's your soul's journey, I am on board. You go for it. You do what brings you joy. You do what you have to do. You do what you have to do. Halo is here, sitting here as a portal of birth and energy for you guys, to help you all understand your sovereign rights and sovereign power to have the free will to choose. I love you all so much, and I'm so proud of you. Exactly, to each his own, 100%. Allow people to choose their soul's move forward. Allow them to be who they are, and trust that in the midst of it all, that your own convictions about your choices are absolutely on point for you. Absolutely on point for you. I pray for the world daily. I have laid in my bed and cried for everybody's sovereignty. That was about a 3-day spell that for somehow, some way, And I resonate with the Lemurian home where it was blown up or their world was destroyed. And I want you to know that what is truly important, yes, the world we live in is absolutely important. I'm not saying that, but what is truly important is the energy and your soul that you bring to the world. That in and of itself is going to breed love, joy, compassion, and care. And that is what I believe is the higher way to look at all of this. Nothing has gone wrong. Everything is happening for our good. And yeah, that's how I feel about that. Not that anyone asked, but you know, I haven't spent a lot of time on the channel talking about this. I haven't spent a lot of time sharing my views, you know, about getting vaccinated or otherwise. But this is, people say, oh, well, then you're choosing not to choose. I said, and even not choosing is a choice. I'm choosing to believe that all is well and that things are going to work themselves out the way they are going to work themselves out, and that everyone will make the perfect decision for them, just as anyone who's involved on the other side of all of this is making the perfect decisions for them, they feel. So as I sit here in non-judgment and in an unconditional love way and grieving and mourning and holding a power and a rooting in my spirit and in spirit above. I don't ground in Gaia anymore because Gaia is going through massive changes. And if you ground when you meditate into Gaia, you are going to feel those energies and those shifts. Also, inadvertently, as you ground in spirit, you're going to feel all of the spiritual changes up there as well. Exactly. And here's the thing. Jesus, a wise teacher that once was on this planet, said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So that is how I'd like to see all of you move forward, is giving people love and compassion because they have their sovereign being here on this planet and they chose to be here. Congratulations, you made it. You're here to a point in history that your soul actually chose to be here. You didn't off yourself, you didn't this, you didn't that. You're actually here. You're alive, you're present, you're watching this video. Honor yourself. Honor your own sovereignty. Stand in your truth, whatever that is. Stand in it. And stand in it with gusto. Stand in it with gusto. And remember that doing that is a form of self-love. But remember, as people that don't agree with you do that as well, they are doing the same for them. They're doing the same for them. Sometimes, who was it? I don't know who first said that sometimes you have got to lose the battle in order to win the war. And the only way you win that I've ever found is through compassion. That's the only way you win. Plain and simple. This whole vaccine and pandemic is breaking apart families. It's breaking apart friends. It's families are stepping into controlling. They're saying things like, well, maybe if you got the shot, you could come visit me and the kids. You know, that sort of stuff. Families are being broken apart. All of these roots that have been beautifully built are being broken apart. They're not being broken apart by compliance. They're not being broken apart by those who want to fight. They're being broken apart by the energy it creates. And that energy in and of itself is the divine's work. So allow it to be as it is and just stand firm in yourself. I love you guys. And remember, you are always being led. The elk, they have antennae that reach right up to the sky. This is air energy. It's reaching right up. I'm going to link in this video again a meditation I did about connecting to it's about zooming past the earth and actually being out there and connecting to spirit, and then looking at the earth and seeing like little map points on the earth of where you want to go, what it is you want to do, and then zoom right in there and then zoom back out. It's a very good exercise in understanding how to get into focus, but how to get into meditation that fast. So I'll link it down below under this chat, and it's called Soul Remembering. Okay? So that you guys can have a listen again. And I use this meditation all the time, and it's so fast. It's so fast. You're so, sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm getting beeped. You're so very welcome. I love you so much. I thank you for being here and for putting the energy into growth and into your life, and for practicing your own absolute sovereignty. Blessings. Namaste. Goodbye, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.